Welcome back to Not Man Enough Podcast. We've got a lot on this show that we're going to cover just because there's so many subjects out there right now. There's so many news stories. It's just insane. But anyway, we've got Sam, we've got Trent, we've got Matt. Everyone is here. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's kind of been a crazy influx of just the wildest stories. Like, dude, this has been crazy as far as the story. Like, even today, something that we're not even going to talk about this, really. I just thought about it was, did y'all hear what Trump said at the UN?
Yeah. I heard about it. I'm going to see if I can pull up a clip of it.
It's so funny. I mean, he just rails on him. It is the funniest thing. He gets up there and he's like, yeah, the only thing the UN has ever given us, us or me is he said, is a broken escalator that we just got stuck on. And he goes, and now I come in here and y'all gave me a broken teleprompter. I mean, dude, he's just going off on him.
It is.
It is so funny. That was funny though. Yeah, crazy stuff. And then you got the whole thing about the Tylenol, which I don't know. Like we said earlier, that's a name brand. What is it called?
Acetaminophen. Do you acetaminophen? I acetaminophen.
Do y'all think that's legitimate? I mean, I do. I think it's probably for real.
You could test it out. I mean, you couldn't, but
yeah. I mean,
I guess I wouldn't chance it if I was a pregnant lady.
Yeah. So I mean, I think probably. I want to see the. I mean, I don't think they would release it to. You're talking about a lot of departments involved in this. It's not like Trump just was like, maybe Tylenol. You know.
Also, like what would be their
Pam Bondi?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what would be their reason for lying about it? Like, we want women to be in more pain while pregnant.
Yeah, no, it doesn't make any. Yeah,
we want them to really have to handle that curse.
Yeah. It's more of a biblical administration, really.
Yeah,
like, you take medication. It's like, what do you think? Do you not trust the sovereignty of God?
Yeah, but I am happy to see things, if that makes sense, of seeing like the whole Maha stuff. You know, it's like I'm happy to see him actually taking.
I am
taking steps toward like, hey, we need to actually look into these things.
It was just kind of ignored.
Yeah.
It's like this is a major issue and it was like ignored. I think it's good that at least, even if they're not solving it completely, at least they're making effort and putting some steam behind it, I guess.
I did find that clip of him talking about the escalator if we want to play it.
Yeah, go ahead. That's funny.
And on the way up, stopped right in the middle. I ended 7 wars, dealt with the leaders of each and every one of these countries, and never even received a phone call from the United Nations offering to help in finalizing the deal. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the 2 things I got from the United Nations: a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Thank you very much.
So good. I mean, that's
just,
by the way,
I like that he ended that with, thank you very much.
Dude, that is funny stuff.
I mean, it's funny because the people that he's railing on the whole time are laughing. That's how good it was. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. He's mocking them to their faces.
They're laughing.
And they're like, dang, that's kind of funny, man.
Yeah.
I ended 7 wars.
Yeah. Which I am curious about. Like, I'm trying to think of the
7 wars.
I think he just always rounds up.
Well, he did
It's not even a 10. He's like,
well, 1
the
is
perfect
basically
number.
2. 2 is basically 3.
He's
3 is basically
expanding
4.
the horizon of the meaning of war. So he ended the war on autism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to count that. And there's
no, he just started the war on autism.
Well, and ended it, I guess. But
yeah, it depends on what.
Why does he hate people
war.
with autism so much?
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
The war on autism.
Yo,
It sounds like something he would actually say too.
He would.
We're starting a
totally.
war on autism.
Yeah, it's even if you don't like Trump, you can't ignore that he's entertaining. I mean,
Oh no, he's a funny
It's-
dude.
I mean, that was his career before this.
I know it's
Entertainer.
wild. It is wild. But anyway, we got Jimmy Kimmel.
On air, here on our podcast.
Yes, he's going. Well,
Welcome.
Jimmy, you know what?
you're live, Jimmy.
He might get more views here than what he will from there on. Dude, it's crazy. It's just wild. Like it's they can't make up their mind what they want to do. It's like you can tell Disney just is like freaking out because they know that they're not going to make anyone happy, and so it's like.
That's just called the left. Appeasing the left. There's no winning. There's never any winning.
There's certain like affiliates, I guess, with Disney. It's like 20% of the stations you would be played on are refusing to let them back. Like they're not going to play it on there.
Yeah,
because they own a lot of stuff. Disney does. So
I think it's going to end up being more than that. I think they're just going to wait out his contract. Honestly,
it ends in like a month.
Yeah.
So I think it's like October is the end of his contract. So that's probably. They're trying to probably save face of saying, "Oh, we'll let him back on until his contract ends, and then they'll fire him because his ratings suck." Is what will happen. That's what it really is. It's about ratings, not
the thing.
Not about
the thing that I'm hating is the fact that like the media is sitting there lining it up like it was the administration that forced him to be fired.
Yeah, it's a free speech violation from the government, is what they're saying, which is ridiculous.
It was honestly, they didn't even make the call. It was like all of the people so mad. It was just like you said, that 20%, like they were all calling up and say, "Hey, this isn't going to fly, man. Like I can't run his show anymore." And now they're saying it still. And that's what happened. So they yanked him off, but the air, and then they put him back on. Like, I don't know. Like, but
I could care less. I mean, I quit caring about him a long time ago when he,
I never did
because he was all when he first started. Well, I don't remember when he first started, but he used to have like every once in a while there'd be some kind of funny stuff he'd put on YouTube that I'd watch, and then it got to where it's like you can't find anything funny from him. Like it's just pure like political like propaganda. That's all he does.
I will say the left has this unique, amazing ability to suck the funny out of the room. I mean, and just like to a degree that is spectacular. I mean, it's really a feat to watch.
I mean, Bill Burr.
Yeah,
prime example of he the further left he went, the less funny he becomes.
Dude, it's crazy because it was always like the conservatives back when I was growing up that was always accused of not being able to laugh and have fun.
Yeah, and
now it's like these people have went so far that it's like nothing can be funny because everything's offensive.
Yeah,
it's like dealing with a whole bunch of 3-year-olds, man. It is insane.
A late night show hosted by a 3-year-old though would probably be funnier than
they probably would, honestly.
Yeah,
honestly. But I think it's just crazy. It was after somebody shot at one of the ABC affiliates, shot up the place. Nobody was hurt, but
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, so like it was a left-wing nut that drove up, shot through the building and through all the windows, and then left a note saying why he did it. And it's like, oh, well, let's put Jimmy Kimmel back on. It's like, oh, so yeah, I bet you like that's not left-wing violence.
I was just about to make that point. Yeah, they didn't count that.
Yeah, it's crazy that
didn't count that.
The bottom line is like I understand that he's a comedian and he's going to say stuff and whatever. That's fine. I don't even care that he says stuff against Trump. It's just that he's saying things that are fact, even within his bit, like that. He's speaking as fact that is just completely bold-faced false.
Yeah.
And it's actually hurtful. It's not like it's oh, well, that doesn't matter. It actually does matter because if you can convince people that, oh, it's a MAGA person that killed one of their own, that just feeds the fire for them. I mean, it makes violence even more possible against the right, in my opinion. But because they can do no wrong.
For Jimmy, it's if he can convince the 5 people, but you know.
Yeah. Well,
all of them. I mean, in all honesty, it's like I said, ABC didn't care. ABC didn't, like you said, there was probably some people in that probably maybe got offended, but like you can't convince me that the CEO of Disney actually cared about any of that stuff.
I don't think he cared at all.
They're all the same, It's
just, so. All right, Jimmy Kimmel Show. Guess what his ratings are? Like out of 5 stars. Out of 5 stars, guess.
1.9.
Yeah, probably like a 1.9.
I don't know. I'll be a little different. 2.2.
2.0.
Oh, nice.
So you were super close. That's
I was pretty close too.
That's awful.
I was off honestly, by 0.1.
According to The Price is Right.
Like Trump.
Not one.
Like Trump, I'll round up.
Yeah, by 1.9 I meant 2.
Yeah, so you got the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, which is crazy. But whatever. I don't think he's going to last much longer. I don't think people are going to watch him much.
Well,
longer.
I think all of the late night is going away.
Honestly, the late night thing is just dying off. It just is.
It's all just freaking propaganda now.
Yeah, and it just doesn't. I don't even think it just fits society anymore. Like the way that things operate now with social media and just the internet, it's just so different, man. It just really is. It's a different deal.
Well, like now they're in competition with like a million freaking podcasts, which are basically like a million late night shows. Yeah. And it's like, why wouldn't you go listen to Rogan or Sean Ryan? Like, why wouldn't you go listen to them instead of like Colbert or freaking Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel? Like, they're not even that funny or interesting
and doing a similar thing.
Yeah, and they're always one-sided on everything, and they're just puppets and parrots for the most part. It's like, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to go listen to something else.
Yeah, it's crazy because like late night shows, it was kind of one of those deals that throughout the week, it was like something that you almost like turned on as you fell asleep. It was like something like you'd watch it, but it was kind of like, oh, I might fall asleep to this. That was kind of the deal. But like nowadays, like you said, you have so many options. It's like, oh man, I'd like to watch this podcast, whatever. And you don't have to put up with all the garbage, and you don't have to put up with all the commercials. Maybe some commercials on podcasts, but it's not bad. And anyway,
I can always hit that 15-second skip.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
And now if you turn on a late night show, it will put you to sleep. It's the difference now.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Most of them always have.
I mean, yeah, it's true.
Somewhat overrated.
Man. But talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and I disagree with Jimmy Kimmel, and I don't like him because I don't think he's funny, but I don't think he's a nutcase. This next person, I'm convinced.
Well, not in the same way, at least.
Yeah, I think this lady might actually be insane. I don't know what's going on, but Candace Owens, whoo, man, it is wild. Some of the things that she's saying. I don't know. Y'all jump in on this because there's just so much I could say about that.
I mean, this isn't new for her. I mean, it's just kind of feels like a new low because it's almost like she's. And this is just my opinion on it. Is it feels like a lot of this is she's just trying to generate clicks off of Charlie Kirk. So it's like very like doing. She's been doing this with everything though for years now. Of it's like she always has this. We were talking about it earlier. She always has this like inside information that
based on
like
nothing.
She only knows, and like she never really tells you where it's from. Just she knows. Like trust her. Mm-hmm. She's got to trust me, bro.
Join the Patreon to find out.
Yeah, join the Patreon. So it's just that and just blatant lies. Honestly, it's like at a certain point, like we got to just be honest and be like, okay, like she's lying about a lot of things. And she needs to be called out on it. Like
when Nick Fuentes is the more sane person, that's kind of problematic.
Yeah,
because he's not.
Well, the difference between the two, that's a good person to bring up with it. The difference between the two is that Nick Fuentes is actually using logic and is looking at evidence to base his claim. Whereas Candace Owens is like looking at the situation every single time. She just wants to grab and say, "Oh, that's the Jews." Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, that's a funny joke, I guess, if you just want to say that every single time, but you actually have to have evidence. You can't just.
I don't think she's joking.
No, I don't think she is joking. I'm saying like for me, most of the time, like if I say something like that, I'm joking. Yeah. Like, it's the Jews. It's like, yeah, I'm probably joking. But I think there is a problem systemically in our government and in media and stuff like that. I won't go into that, but whenever you're just spouting off nonsense where you don't even have evidence for it, the evidence we have, it was a lunatic. It was a libtard is what it was that went and shot Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
End of story. And there isn't any evidence, like solid evidence, that it was to the contrary. And I was looking at this. I've been listening on stuff like this. What Candace did was that she said, well, Charlie Kirk, and this is what a lot of the conspiracy theorists are saying. They're saying, well, Charlie Kirk was wavering on his views on Israel. Charlie Kirk was very pro-Israel, Zionist, always in line with that, in line with like Ben Shapiro, stuff like that. So very pro-Israel. And then towards the end of his life, people were saying like he's starting to waver and question things. Yeah, I mean, there were some instances where he was like, yeah, maybe what Israel is doing is an ethnic cleansing in Israel and Gaza. Like maybe this isn't right. But he was still pro-Israel until the day he died.
Yeah,
there is absolutely no motive. Like he's the biggest ally that Israel had in terms of neoconservatism.
They named a square after him after he was assassinated there.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. And what Candace said was that, well, I have the insider knowledge that Netanyahu called Charlie Kirk to give him $150 million for Turning Point, and they're like, okay, can you show us the receipts? Like, can you show us that actually happened? And she's like, tune in next time.
Yeah. And then
shut up. And like, get off air. Go home with your family. I think you have like 4 kids. Like, what's your deal? You shouldn't be taught. Like, this is why you should be quiet. Honestly. Like, really. Just shut up. Get off air. This is ridiculous.
If that was Israel's special operations,
it's a sad one.
That's sloppy. It's very sloppy.
Yeah, no, they actually have very intricate special operations.
Yeah, they're actually one of the strongest militaries in the world. Actually,
I mean, yeah, they're actually very good at what they do, and what she's saying is just insane. I think that it's just crazy. Like some of the claims that she makes is just so. What's the deal with her constantly calling the lady from France
a man?
A man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that was another thing too. Yeah,
like she just won't let it go.
No, like didn't she was on like Tucker or something, and she was like, no, I'm not gonna back out of this lawsuit of what do you call it again? Defamation.
Yeah,
this defamation lawsuit, because she's claiming that this person's a man when there isn't evidence. Again, something she does so good is lack of evidence and go full in on an idea. And they're suing her, fair enough, defamation. And then she's telling Tucker, you know, I'm so confident in this, I'm not going to back out of the lawsuit, and I'm not going to give in. It's like soon enough, like she's about to lose the lawsuit, she backs out.
Yeah,
like,
she's been filing to let her out, like to try and get it just
tossed out.
That makes a comment that Steven Crowder made a lot more sense, because I didn't know the situation.
Yeah. So that was pretty much the gist of that story is she ran with it. Started with like some weird media thing, and she just ran with it. And then supposedly they sent her actual evidence of saying, hey, you know, we know this is like a conspiracy theory. Here's evidence of you're saying there's no pictures.
They showed her pictures of her pregnant.
Yeah,
and like
her kids. She just like just made it. And then she claimed that they weren't suing her over that on Tucker. I think she said, well, they aren't suing me over it was something else I said or whatever. She says, but then literally the first line of like the documents are public.
She's a man.
You claim that she's a man falsely. Like it's wild. Yeah. So yeah, she's just, I mean, funny enough, probably the last time we brought her up was when we were doing like a bit on like flat Earth.
Yeah, that's why I texted y'all today. I said, once you go flat Earth, you're committed. There's no going back on all these conspiracies, man, because that's like the best of all.
That makes so much. I was trying to figure out what FE meant. I was like, FE.
But yeah, it's like she kind of went in.
If you can believe in that conspiracy, you can believe in anything. You can convince yourself of anything.
Do you remember the video where she said someone was talking about and she's like, dinosaurs? That's kind of fake and gay. And you're like,
she said they're gay. She said they're gay, and that's just stupid.
That's kind of weird and gay.
Yeah, weird and gay.
How are dinosaurs gay?
Well, she thinks that it's a whole fake thing.
That's like, her. Well, that's her. If you ever watched her, like that's her insult to like everything is it's gay. Everything's gay. So it's like it's just her like
her listeners are like, yeah, Candace, dinosaurs are gay. Yeah.
At least
it
we
was
know.
totally the Mossad that killed him for sure. The Earth is flat. That's what it is.
What's crazy is
She
like
probably thinks the Jews created the dinosaurs as a ploy.
Well, she thinks they are like planted.
Honestly, she just explained how they went extinct.
Oh, they're gay.
They're gay.
Oh,
An asteroid flattened the Earth.
and it was judgment because of their homosexuality.
That's the Sodom and Gomorrah of dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean,
it was full of sodomosauruses.
She's not the only one that does believe that dinosaurs are
One
fake,
of the dinos looked back and got
I'll
turned into a
give her
pillar
that.
of salt.
Yeah.
There's many Christians. Well, I don't know about many, but there are Christians that think that like it's a whole conspiracy that like they're fake and stuff because of the millions of years thing or whatever.
It's not even, but that doesn't even. Like,
it doesn't even. It doesn't.
Like that. The evidence isn't the dinosaurs.
I don't know.
That's
like,
not that
I
there
don't
is
get
evidence, but I'm saying that's not what they base it on. It's the rocks. Not
Dude,
the dinosaurs.
no, I know.
That is so embarrassing as a Christian, though.
No, I know.
Because then they're like, oh man, these evolutionists are saying that it's millions of years. I'm just gonna say they're fake. they weren't actually real. That's gonna be my comeback.
There was one guy that I was he was asking about dinosaurs and what we thought of it once. That was a long time ago, and I was like, man, I don't think that. I think even then, this was way back, and I was like, I don't think that like the Bible's real clear on how long that period was or whatever and all that. And he said that he thinks that God planted the dinosaur bones in the dirt to test our faith. That's the reason why they're here.
Yeah, that's what my history teacher told me when I was in middle school.
Man, man, y'all are reaching. I'm like, could they just not be like
As old as we think they are?
Well,
Is that
could they
not an
just
option?
could they just not be animals that existed?
Could they just
Like,
have been?
Yeah.
You know,
And are no more?
can we just say like, hey, these are bones? It probably was alive at some point.
Yeah. We can debate time, but
Anything in a
there
museum,
is bones here.
Anything in a museum, you're like, that was probably put
Well,
there to
it
test
goes
your
back
faith.
to the problem with her. It's not like there's a good sense of skepticalness that you should have. I don't know.
Yeah.
Skepticism.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
There's a good sense of skepticism we should all have, and distrust, a healthy distrust, and actually to the point where it's asking us questions that's leading us along a line of evidence to a conclusion. But like going back, it's just like she jumps into a conclusion without the evidence, without even going through all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough for her, man.
it's just like like you're making the rest of us like that seem stupid.
So all right, going to the Charlie Kirk assassination, she's had all these opinions of it that it's Israel and everything else. But what was the thing that she said? Was it today that she said that? You sent it.
Where she said, why aren't we checking out she thinks there was like a tunnel underneath and that isn't it weird? She says isn't it weird there's no exit wound? And she's like, the bullet didn't come out or whatever like that. So she's like, meanwhile, everybody's looking up, they're hearing the shot or whatever. She's like, why aren't we looking down? I'm just asking questions. Like, why aren't we looking down? And I'm like, down?
What?
It's
So she said that the shot was fired from a tunnel?
She didn't say for sure. She just said we need to look into it, pretty much. And wink, wink. There's a tunnel underneath him.
Two questions. A, how does she know there's not an exit wound? That's not been confirmed. I've heard that report. It's not been confirmed that there was definitely not an exit wound. And then two, if you know anything about what bullets do inside of a human body, they do some pretty crazy stuff.
Yes.
Like they don't just it's not just a through and through 90% of the time. So,
which also
really stupid
angles. I know that's hard to understand of how angles work, but it's real hard to shoot from underneath through someone's side of their neck. It's like,
wouldn't you see a Jew under the floor? He's like, what the heck? Hey, I'm pro Israel.
Dude, it's just insane.
Are you here to support me?
Yeah.
That's crazy,
why do you have a big barrel at a 90-degree angle so that it can come up and over?
That's just ridiculous.
Oh, it's so.
Golly.
It's so
Hey,
ridiculous.
Trent, do you have access to the text messages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not only that, but and on a serious note, imagine how like infuriating that would be to you as Erica Kirk.
She's responding to it supposedly.
Like seriously, I mean, she's been such a patient woman, like incredible. Yes. We'll talk about it, but anyway, and the strength the Lord has given her is wonderful. But like okay, that would be infuriating because you're seeking justice for that killer. Okay, and evidence is pointing to that killer being the killer. You know, if Candace were to say, "Hey, I think the killer was some sort of I think the killer was some sort of like agent or something." It's like, okay, well that's one thing, but at least she's still saying the killer is the killer. Mm-hmm. But whenever you're saying that's not even the guy, he's a fall guy, it's like, all right, like that would just be infuriating.
Yeah, that's what I've thought of it too. That's what's made me so when I see her stuff, which I haven't even been watching a lot of. I just see the clips and then I've watched a little bit, but it makes me furious just because of that aspect of it.
Honestly, that's why I'm mad over it. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be laughing.
Yeah.
And we are laughing at it.
I'm like, you're calling people that, which, you know, some of these people are believers too. Is like, you got to take that into question. They're saying, hey, this is what we have here. This is what happened. And you're looking them in the eye. Well, she's not actually. She's sitting behind a camera and saying, oh, they're lying to you to cover up for all this stuff. I'm like, dude, that's a lot of Christians you're talking about.
Yeah,
are just lying to protect $150 million from Israel.
I guess she thinks nothing about slander.
No,
at all. But do you have that picture?
Yeah, so
you don't have to pull it up yet.
Well, no, I've got it.
But I'll
do you want to intro it?
Yeah, I'll just say this.
Set this picture up.
Candace Owens. So she thinks that the Jews are the problems with every city in America and everything. She even thinks that about Chicago and New York, that they're doing it all from the tunnels. And so I think that we've actually got a picture of these what's happening in the sewers there in these big cities and who's actually doing this. If we could pull up this picture of the suspects that we found. According to Candace Owens.
Now, this is the Israeli Special Operations Group.
Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
Ninja Turtles.
And they are best known for traveling the sewers.
Yeah, if you're listening, go just click on the video for a second. Normally it's the tunnels
in New York, too.
Yeah, it is. And instead of pizza, it's all about hummus. The
hummus. Empty hummus containers were found at the scene of the crime.
Dude, I would not doubt that we don't see that on her show tomorrow. That this is like a legit thing.
Dude, I hope so.
Have y'all heard about the Ninja Turtles? New theory.
New York.
Sign up for my Patreon and then you'll get the full story.
I just hope she gives us credit, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy.
I hope we end up on her show and she calls us gay. I think that'd be really funny.
Well, anyway. Candace Owens.
Ninja Turtles are really weird.
Get some help. I can't figure out, honestly, if she is just like a habitual liar.
Yeah,
I think it's a little bit of everything. She's probably... she's definitely been caught in lies.
Or hopelessly ignorant.
Anyway, moving on. Just people, please have common sense when you listen to these people, because there's a lot of people buying in to people like Candace Owens and these people that just come up with these conspiracy theories that are just crazy. Look, I'll give you JFK. JFK, that whole thing is crazy. I don't know what happened. I'm not going to pretend like I know what happened. I get it. Like, I get people say it, okay. But, like, not everything can be a conspiracy. And it's like we're falling into this trap as, like, everything has to be conspiracy. And it's crazy.
Like, in line with this, I wouldn't necessarily totally blame, like, Candace for it or people like her.
Society at large.
Because
it's society.
It's so, and not even society, but a lot of it's our government, too, because of how much we've been lied to and how dishonest our own government has been in covering stuff up. I mean, you look at the whole Epstein thing now.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, now they're just doing it straight to our face. And it's like, what on earth is up with this?
I also think that this is what you get when legacy media has abandoned their role of what they're actually supposed to do. Because now we're being lied to so much by our media. So where do we go for truth?
Propaganda machine.
Yeah, it's like, where do you go for truth? Well, now we got to just find it out ourselves. And so this is how you end up.
Yeah, but it also gets...
It just feeds it.
There's a gross aspect of this, too, of where people realize they can get views off of
for sure.
If you push because a lot of this is that there's a lot of all the major conspiracy theories have tons of lies around them where people make fake footage, fake they say, look, this is what happened, these people claim this and stuff like that, and it's usually for views. Even back in the day, it's always for views. And you saw that literally put like the next day after Charlie Kirk was shot. It's like I got on X and I saw video after video of look at this guy's hand moving and all this stuff like that.
It ended up being Frank Turek.
It was Frank Turek. Yeah. And it's like, oh my goodness, like that's how quick, but they're getting tons of interactions. I mean, they're getting millions of views because people are like, oh, what? It's the, curiosity or kicking in and going, well, what is this? Everybody's looking at?
Or that the guy assembled his gun, disassembled his gun, and put on these clothes and then these clothes and then this clothes, and it's like, no, that was actually never said, never confirmed. What are y'all even talking about? They're just making it up.
Well, what it is you get like some somewhat prominent person or something, tweets it out or whatever, and then another person states it as fact, and then another person states it as fact because and then it just goes on and on.
But
and then
all it takes seriously is just to go check.
Yeah.
And it's
just
not hard.
5 minutes.
I know. Well, and then one of the biggest ones is the two biggest reasons I heard at first that, it's got to be like Israel or another nation with like, it was because it was a professional, because that was an incredibly hard shot to make, and they disassembled the rifle, and that's also incredibly hard. Disassembling weapons is not incredibly hard unless you have a very complex weapon. It's almost always incredibly easy. Secondly, if you know anything about shooting rifles, if you've ever shot a rifle ever in your life, you realize that a 200-yard shot
is nothing.
For a high-powered rifle. It's nothing.
Deer hunters do it every year.
I use this as an example because and I don't know if we mentioned this on the last podcast, but like we sighted in my rifle, first rifle I ever owned.
Yep.
And we went and sighted it in within
10, 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes, and we threw
those clay pigeons.
Clay pigeons, what are they, about 3 to 4 inches?
They're about maybe the size of the palm of my hand. Maybe a little bit bigger.
We threw them on the backstop.
So like 3 or 4 inches, yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that's about
right. So we threw them on the backstop, which was over 200 yards. What was it, about
205,
210? I don't think I missed one.
No, we were pegging them.
Yeah, it's like, and I've never even shot a rifle before. Like, not that type of rifle. I've shot rifle, but like 22s and stuff is all I'd ever shot.
Yeah.
And here I am sitting there shooting that rifle, and I'm hitting them like first time. And it's just like to think that like people are just whatever. But it just makes me mad, and the reason why I get mad is just because this guy needs to be brought to justice, and people are getting in the way of it, and it's people that are on the right side that are actually creating issues. I don't know. It's infuriating.
One thing that was weird about it was the text message stuff. I don't know if y'all ever read those. That was really weird. And like, I'm not making conclusions about that. I'm just saying like that was weird.
How could you make conclusions of someone who is in a relationship with someone that thinks that they're a woman or wants to transition to a woman that's also a furry? Like, I don't even know what those interactions would even look like anyway.
Yeah, I guess it's so I guess robotic and
weird.
Like Tylenol got involved here.
Large doses of Tylenol.
No, they were weird, and it's like I just lean toward that of like, okay, we're talking about two extremely strange people at the very least.
But it was it filled up all the gaps that were missing, which is weird.
Well, the conclusion I kind of came to is, pretty much if you have someone that lives with you, it would be really hard to hide something like that from them, which I don't think you would hide it from them. So I think it was fake text messages to
cover everyone else.
The other person.
It's hilarious because if you were trying to do that, you do a bad job when in one of the text messages you say, remember when I was engraving the cases the other night?
He's not a super smart guy.
No, but he's not a super smart guy, but actually that might actually be something. Well, did you not see him doing this? And that other person could say, he said that it was for something else.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, to display on your bookcase.
Yeah, nobody does that. Nobody engraves
nobody that's normal wants to sleep with a person dressed up as a dog. Okay, so like, anyway.
There's nothing normal about this.
I mean, this is true.
Yeah,
we're acting like they have common sense.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the memorial service.
Yeah, more positive things.
Yeah, maybe. I thought that.
I think it was pretty positive, though.
It was. I think that
that wasn't sarcasm. That was
nope.
I was being 100% genuine.
No, I actually agree with you. It's positive. I think overall it's positive, and let's just talk about it because there's a lot of speeches. A lot of I will kind of push back against the people that say that that wasn't political at all. There was definitely politics there.
Oh,
for sure. Yeah, of course. I mean, Charlie Kirk was a political figure, obviously, and you've got a lot of political figures speaking. So of course it's going to be political, but it was also very spiritual in the sense of like that Christ's name was mentioned more than I've ever seen by administration and government people. I've never seen Christ proclaimed. Now, we can get in the argument of, are these people actual Christians or not? All I'm saying is that Christ was proclaimed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I brought up I said, I thought a good example is I said earlier to you is Paul, is when he said, whether even if some of these people
are doing this out of ill intent,
or even some of these people are ignorant to what they're saying, a lot of what they were saying was still true. And, I don't want to be a hypercritical person. I don't want, I've watched it, and honestly, there was hardly anything I was critical of watching it. It was more of just, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome that you're hearing.
I think that we can celebrate it, and we can pick it apart, and I can pick apart certain things. Well, they use that verse a little bit out of context. Ooh, this could have been better. Oh, that could have been a better gospel presentation. I think that from where we were and now being able to say now, like, that was the first time I've ever seen Christ talked about that much. I think that's a positive thing no matter what.
Well, and I think if you watched it and came away just with a lot of things to critique, you probably watched it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, that's what
in other words, like the idea is like, okay, watching this as a memorial for Charlie Kirk, that's the purpose of it. Not to see, is everything theologically up to where it should be, or is this? I know we're going to ask this question in a minute, but is this a legit revival, or whatever? It's like no. I'm watching it to honor Charlie Kirk. That was pretty much it.
My takeaway from it was kind of what I saw some other, people I respect, online saying saying, okay, there was 100 million people who heard the name of Christ over and over and over again, and heard, hey, he died for your sins. You're a sinner. How many times did we hear people say, even if there was like some, you could pick it apart, like you said, some of the gospel presentations and stuff, but still hearing, hey, actually, you're the problem. Yeah. I don't remember whose speech it was.
I don't remember who said that, but it was awesome.
I remember, I know there was at least 2 or 3 people that said that, say, hey, remember, you are a wicked sinner and you need Christ.
I mean, even the Catholic, like J.D. Vance is a Catholic, and I thought that everything that he said was good, though. Like, I mean, it's not like there was common grace in the fact that he communicated and said, hey, Christ is king. He said that. There's only one king, and it's Christ.
Which is like when I heard that, all I could think, is like, you say amen. And I said, whether I even think this guy's a believer or not is...
We should celebrate that.
Is that millions and millions of people around the world are hearing our vice president, one of the highest offices in our nation, say Christ is king.
I think
it's like, that's wow.
Look, when even pagans are giving honor to the true God, like even if they're not true believers, that's something that should be in public. We should celebrate in the sense that God's name, Christ Jesus, is being lifted up even by them. It's like, it's just, I don't want to overplay it and say, that means that everything's great. I'm just saying, like, it is a good thing to have those foundational things that our country was based upon, honestly, biblical truths and stuff like that. But I can't help but, like, I'm not going to critique it. I'm going to actually just be, like, thankful for it.
Yeah. I just tried to look at it positively and just be thankful for because there was things listening to it. I mean, we were talking about it before, like Ben Carson, when he ended his speech, I was just like, oh my goodness, that was bad.
There was,
but I was like, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, like you're gonna have that. The same thing with like you said, I think it's common grace of I don't want to be so hypercritical, because it's like we could do that all day long with everything, with every other church who slightly disagrees with us or whatever. You could pick them apart, every Sunday morning and stuff like that. It's like, but that's not what we want to do necessarily. It's like take a win when we get a win. It's like compare this to 5 years ago
that's what I'm saying.
COVID. It's like it could have.
Dude, compare this to even 20 years ago. Not even Reagan ever had anything like this.
No, Reagan wouldn't have even said stuff like that.
Reagan would have said God bless America and pray and all that stuff. That was always something that Republicans would say. Even the Democrats would say it, but they were proclaiming. There is a difference of proclaiming the name of Christ.
Yeah.
And even the gospel itself, although, again, we could pick apart the presentations and all that, but I think that what you brought up with Paul is whether these people are doing it from ill intent or not, as long as Christ is proclaimed, I'll celebrate.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I'm thankful for it.
Yeah, I've actually got a clip of probably the most solid gospel presentation that we heard during the memorial. Do we want to play that?
Sure. Why not? Yeah, this is the guy that was doing the hand signals, by the way.
Because he was a great husband and father, not because he saved millions of kids out of darkness on college campuses, not because he changed minds and chased votes to save the country, not because he sacrificed himself for his Savior. Charlie Kirk is in heaven because his Savior sacrificed himself for Charlie Kirk.
This is the most I've ever liked Frank Turk, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
Because I've always disagreed with him so many times.
Yeah.
I'm thankful
now look,
for him.
I am too, yeah.
There's only two things you can get in the afterlife. You can get justice or you can get grace. Ladies and gentlemen, does anyone in here, does anybody out there watching around the world want justice from an infinitely just being?
The amount of people that probably raise their hands probably would show that they didn't know the correct answer to that question.
Yeah.
I don't want justice, I want grace. Well, the only way to get grace for an infinitely just being is for him to punish an innocent substitute in our place. Where can he find an innocent substitute among us? He can't. We're all fallen. So what does this infinitely just and infinitely loving God do? He adds humanity to his deity. He comes to earth. He allows the creatures that rebelled against him to torture and kill him so he could place their punishment upon himself, and then by trusting in him, every one of us can be forgiven and then given his righteousness. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the greatest story ever told, and it happens to be true. There's evidence for this, and Charlie knew it. Watch his video.
That's good.
Anyways, just thought that was
really good.
dude,
Dude,
really
that's
awesome.
That's awesome because that went out to the world.
Yeah.
I mean, there was over 100 million. They said at the very least, 100 million streams of that live.
Wow.
And so it's like that went out to not just America, but that went out to the world. And by the way, 100 million streaming it here in America. Oh, what's our population up to? Like 300 and something million?
350.
Yeah.
350. And that's including all the children. So you got to think, like, if, let's say the 100 million was all in America that were mainly streaming it, you're talking about a majority of households that someone viewed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Almost a third of America.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so. Like I said, we should be thankful. Not everything was perfect. Not everything was said the way it should be. But the fact of the matter is that we should be thankful for what happened. not to Charlie, obviously, but what happened at the memorial service and the speeches.
And a lot of people pointed this out, and I was thankful for it. Of you heard it again and again throughout a lot of the speeches is, what God intended for evil.
Yeah.
And then, they point her out, and they were pointing to the streams and stuff saying, look at what the response we're seeing, the response we're seeing from this and the fact that people are hearing the gospel out of this. I'm like, that's a good, that's a good that has come from this. But
I think that obviously the most we could go through all the speeches and everything, and I thought that J.D. Vance's was fantastic. I think that what's his name, Stephen Miller, yeah, fantastic.
Marco Rubio, I thought, did well.
Marco Rubio did excellent. He also gave the gospel presentation. Pete Hegseth, I believe that he's a true believer, and I think he did great.
Yeah.
And so, I loved it.
Yeah. There were others, too.
There were others. I'm not, trying to leave anybody out and be like, oh, these other people are terrible. But it was interesting. I mean, it was interesting seeing some people that had just the one that actually shocked me, that got up there and actually talked about Christ was what's her name? Gray Streak.
Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah. That one kind of surprised me.
I don't know much about her anymore. I've followed her back in the day when she was kind of like
she's from
moving
Hawaii.
away from the Democrat Party. Yeah.
She was a representative from Hawaii. And so it's like, man, that's a huge liberal place.
Yeah. She was Democrat.
Well, she was.
Yeah, and I think she's still kind of like a centrist type or whatever, but she's obviously in the Trump administration now.
Yeah, she backed Trump. And when she backed Trump, essentially that's when she left the Democrat Party before that.
She was kind of RFK type of where she tried to take a more center road and just be more logical and like, let's bring everybody together. And the Democrats spit her out and called her a Nazi and everything, which is what they do.
Yeah.
What they do.
You
they
can't be centrist on.
Yeah,
as on the left.
Well, it's just interesting because the reason why it shocked me is because she was like a hardcore Democrat in the past, and she probably even still. Let's be honest, she probably still supports abortion.
Yeah,
I don't know that she does. I don't want to slander.
I don't know either.
I know in the past, I think she obviously maybe she's for.
She's probably not an abolitionist. I'll at least say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe I shouldn't even say that, but I know in the past she obviously if she was with the Democrats, she supported it because it's like.
Yeah,
you can't be a Democrat and not support it as far as politics goes and a representative. But go ahead.
So I was just gonna say, to me, the biggest, most impactful thing though was Erica Kirk.
For sure. That's what I was gonna get to.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't know if that's where you were headed with this.
No, I think that when you want to talk about what I think it looks like for a Christian to forgive. I think that was so impactful because so many times you see people kind of like, I forgive you, and it's almost like, and I don't want to make this sound like it sounds bad, but it almost seems too easy. It almost seems like there's not a recognition of the evil, the wickedness behind it. It's almost like, hey, just I forgive you, and I don't think there should even be any punishment. You could tell that this woman fought for this forgiveness in a sense. Like she was battling with the fact that what was done was so evil and wrong. And yet it was powerful, man. It really was a testimony to,
if Frank Turek preached the gospel, this was the gospel on display.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. And a lot of people, I thought I listened to Michael Knowles the next day, and he had a good take on it, pretty much too, of saying, hey, the people who try and jump to the conclusion of saying, well, forgiveness, it's like that doesn't equal letting this guy go. It doesn't. No. It's not saying we don't pursue justice. It's like, no, there's a difference. And he actually had a pretty good. We've talked about this recently on the podcast of the difference between forgiveness and all the trust and justice and tying it all together. He had a good analogy and stuff for that, which I thought was good.
He's usually, the crazy thing is 50% theologically, I disagree with him on so many things, but yet I agree with him on so many things too.
Yeah, no, he confuses the mess out of me.
It's man, he says such good things, but he's just so he's not just Roman Catholic, man. He's like, let's go to the to the mass that's only spoken Latin.
The Latin mass,
he's not just he is the Catholic.
He is the Catholic.
He's like the Catholic of Catholics.
Yeah,
man.
So one thing a quote I saw, I think it was this morning or yesterday or something, this popped up, but it was Allie Beth Stuckey. I actually put this out. I don't know if any of y'all saw it.
I didn't.
But she said, comparing the speeches, she said there was a big contrast between Erica's forgiveness speech and Stephen Miller's destroy our enemies speech. And so, which if you watched it, that's very like Stephen Miller was amped up there talking about destroying our enemies and stuff. And she says, this is still going on with her quote, exactly as it should be. It is our job to forgive, not the government's. Christians give grace. Right. The government wields the sword. We turn the other cheek. The government punishes evil.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it couldn't be any better said. I think we should demand that from our government because it's right for society. It's right for loving our neighbor. To love our neighbor is to not let these things go unpunished. Yeah. And so it's essential, but we need. Do you have like where Erica Kirk?
I do, and just to add to that, though, that makes a lot of Christians uncomfortable. There's a lot of Christians that don't like that type of talking of like and it's like, look, we're not saying let's go do it ourselves, but the point is you should, just like you said, desire for your own government to punish wickedness. That was a good
the sword,
thing. Like that. I've always been. I always thought that was so weird.
I'll be honest with you, and I'm going to say this, and this might offend some people, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but I understand women saying that because women are more nurturing and stuff like that. Like they're emotional in that sense, and so they're sensitive to those things. I do not understand a man that struggles with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm sorry. Like, read your Bible. Like, really think about justice in the right way. And as a man, you should be like, no, justice needs to be served. And I'm not saying all women. Like, don't take me like. There are many women. Erica Kirk.
We just read Allie Beth.
And she's got it right. I'm just saying these men. Look, this is not Man Enough podcast, so I'm speaking to men. It's like, men, you sound like emotional women when you make the argument that, no, he shouldn't be punished and put to death. I'm like, what kind of argument is that? It's not a logical one. It's not a biblical one. So what is it? It's an emotional one. Stop being so emotional.
Yeah.
Man up.
Take some testosterone.
Dude, I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive, but it's like, man, come on. Like.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
You want to play the clip?
Yeah, let's do it.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men just like the one who took his life. That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That man, that young man, I forgive him.
I don't. This is what I would say is a drug dealer overdoses on the street from swallowing all of his drugs and literally dies on the street as a drug dealer, as a criminal, and cities burn because of that. Here, and she even said this in her speech, is that is that one of the things that she was so proud of is the fact that not one city burned, not one riot happened, nothing. Mm-hmm. And that is right. And so it's just, it shows you the difference. It shows you as we said before, it shows you people that have at least a biblical view of things at the very least. I don't know. I don't know if y'all want to respond and just talk about it from y'all's perspective, but
I mean, honestly, it's watching that is convicting because it just like how dare we not forgive the offenses that are in comparison so light, you know. Yeah. I mean, man, or even just like the fact that I even get frustrated at some of the things that I do. It's like, how can I get frustrated about that when you've got like a woman who I just watched live on TV, like struggling, but doing what she's called to do and forgiving the man that murdered her husband in front of thousands of people.
Yeah. I mean, that's a strong woman, man. Like, I mean,
goodness, yeah,
I just like
biblically strong too, not feminist bullcrap.
No,
strong, actually strong.
Yeah, feminist. You want to see a strong woman? That's a strong woman. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I don't know how else to tell you. It's just like.
By the way, in a different part of the speech, and I love this, she gave a challenge to both men and women.
Yeah,
and I loved it. To the men, she's like, "Hey, be a man worth following." You know, basically, this is what a biblical husband should be. But then she turned to the women and was like, "Hey, make your home a place that your husband wants to come home to. Like, don't make your husband dread coming home. Make him want to serve you." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, that is
it was
right on the head.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I meant when I texted you, I was like, I think that was one of the greatest speeches.
Oh,
I'll be honest with you. It was probably one of the best speeches I've ever heard in my life.
Same. I looked at my wife. I said, I don't know if I'll ever forget that speech. Like, I think it'll stick in my mind for a very, very long time.
Yeah. I mean, it.
Also, that look she gives.
Dude, when she's talking, cuts down to the heart, man.
I think something about Lana even said when we were watching it. I guess it was last night. Yeah, and Lana brought it up and was like, "Golly!" Like when she like looks directly at the camera, you're kind of like, almost like stares you a little bit.
You've heard like the phrase "if looks could kill," but I think her look actually might be able to kill somebody.
Yeah,
like
dude,
it's
piercing,
so intense.
Eyes.
Yeah. It's almost gray. Did you know? Like her eyes are
they're really blue.
I think that's what makes it like even more like where you're like, dang, like, but I think that's makes it even more impactful.
Yeah,
is seeing her fight the tears, is seeing her struggle to speak and stuff. It's what makes it, even more better. Not just the words she's saying, which I think the words she's saying is great, but it's like all that combined. It hits hard. I mean, it was hard to watch that without tearing up.
No, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I did
not succeed in that.
No, I didn't either.
I mean, look, it's just I was just happy to hear Christ proclaimed, and again, all that. Now that leads us to this next question. You keep hearing the word revival, even in that memorial service that we heard the word revival. Look at this revival. Let's talk about that. Can we confidently say that this is a revival? This is definitely a revival. And I have my opinion on it. I think we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but I guess I'll start off just to kind of throw it out there and just give you my view of it. I think that there's two different ways you can look at it. Depends what you mean by revival. If you mean a revival by the country being that it's no longer unpopular and there's a reignition, I don't know the word to use really, but people are trying to return to the foundational truths that this country was based upon. In that sense, that they're looking and they're like, yes, there is a God, and yes, we are based off of these biblical truths, and now it's not just taboo to say Christ and Christ is Lord and all that. In that sense, I would say, yeah, sure, it's a revival in that sense. Like there's a revival of old truths that this country was founded upon, and people are returning to that they're becoming more aware of spiritual realities and things like that. From a Christian perspective, just strictly like that's just strictly like a social type view of it. From an actual revival in the sense that I think biblical revival, biblical things is, it could be the start of one. It could be the start of one, but I wouldn't say it is. I don't know. It's like if people start repenting and people are calling upon the name of the Lord and our society starts to change from that, then we can all say, yeah, it's a revival. But anyway, I think that there's so many different views on the word revival. Some people would say, oh, the Holy Spirit fell and there's people speaking in tongues and people are just, joyous to talk about Jesus now. And that means that there's a revival. And it's like, well, that's not exactly accurate either in the sense of like, it just depends what kind of revival you're talking about and what terms what you're trying to communicate by it, I guess. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that's where I kind of went with it too is like, I feel like it isn't new to just kind of throw that term around too. Yeah. And to hear a lot of people just say it anytime there's something like this happening, or, not that something like this has happened in our lifetime, but anytime there's any kind of like what you were saying is like a while back, you remember when the colleges, it's like, man, these kids have been here for 3 days. It's a huge nationwide revival. And it was like one college, but, so it's like, I feel like it's thrown around a lot of times too much, but the positive I would say is like, okay, like you were saying, okay, if we see this continue of like I said, our White House putting out videos that have the gospel in it, all this stuff like that, and then you see reaction, like hopefully, I pray there is a revival from this of people hearing. Well, it's like, how do people get saved? How do people? It's hearing the gospel. That's right. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I hope the fact that there was millions and millions of people hearing the gospel, that it did stir something up in them, that it did, the Holy Spirit is working through that. Like, and I think it is, how can you not say that anytime the gospel is proclaimed, that's the Holy Spirit doing that.
Which I think that people are being saved through this.
Yeah.
I think God is using it to save people for sure. Now, when you're talking about revival, you're talking about the redirection of a country and the way people returning to the Lord in that sense. Are we able to say that from this? Like I said, it could be the start of that.
I hope.
And we all hope. If it is the start of it, we got to keep in mind, especially for those of us who are reformed or lean that way, you're going to have hundreds of thousands of baby believers. You're not going to have people who are like, oh, yeah, man, they're like 5-point Calvinist over here, and they've got all their stuff lined up. No, they're going to be baby believers. Like, if this happens rapidly, they're probably not going to look exactly how you, like, the revival, like, if you're praying for a revival, like, the revival you have in your head of what that looks like might not look how you think it's going to look.
It might look a lot more like the Corinthians.
Yeah. It honestly might.
I mean, honestly, the culture that we're coming out of, it's like, it might.
Does that make it any less glorious?
Concerns that I do have, and I don't mind saying the concerns that I have through this, is that I do fear out of this that there is going to be a collapsing of the gospel mixed with Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy, whereas we would say, hey, not that we would say that no one, like there's not some Christians that are involved in those churches. We would say that they're saved in spite of it. But we would also say that the Roman Catholic Church is absolutely heretical and the gospel is a false gospel. And so it's like, yeah, we've heard the gospel proclaimed, but it's also been from a lot of Catholics. And so how does that play out? Are people rushing to Catholic churches to join Mass and think that they are justified by, their works or by their by going and having Mass and having grace infused in them on a weekly basis? That's my concern.
Is the question currently at hand, like what, like, is this a revival or something? Is that the question? Was this?
Yes. It was how you hear the word revival even within the speeches. They're thrown around a lot. And then the question is it okay to call it that? Yeah,
I mean, I think you could probably come up with a dozen different definitions of revival.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
If I start with the people closest to me in my camp, so to speak, people like in my church, in the community, the Christian community and stuff, usually either mean one or two things. They either mean revival being a large mass of people truly being converted and regenerated by the Holy Spirit, coming to know the Lord. Or they mean that, but more in a cultural sense. Some people might mean like, oh, the culture is almost reforming into a sort of a cultural Christianity sort of thing in a greater mass. It's usually related to mass numbers.
Yeah.
Which there is a distinction between those two. One is real, and then one is also real, but it's not to the heart necessarily. Like I think of the Great Awakenings and stuff like that when I think of that. And then the other things would be, if I'm moving out, another definitions of it. So one guy I heard from the secular, he almost used it as if it meant like an energizing experience.
Yeah.
Like some
a spiritual experience.
Yeah, some unbelievers, not even necessarily that.
Yeah.
But just like, wow, I was revived, refreshed, I was energized. In that sense. And so it's like, well, okay, so there's another who knows what he thinks about that. And then you have other people that think revival, like I heard it on the news the other night, being a almost used in a context of like Southern Baptist tent revival type thing. It's like, which I think that was akin to what it more kind of was, with the piano, the keys, the synth, all that
within
kind of
the
stuff.
building. Yeah, so I would say that.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, in that sense, for one, let me backtrack. The first two definitions I gave of like what I would normally see in my circle, the first one, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't know. The second one, I think we're on that track in terms of the culture of Christianity thing.
Yeah.
I think especially Gen Z, especially our generation, I think we're so fed up and done with the liberalism. I really do. I really think that.
Yeah.
I think so many of us have dealt with it, and it's almost like we're going back towards more of sort of the boomers, sort of
more traditional.
Yeah, except maybe even farther than them on a lot of things. And I think in that sense, I think we're on track that once some of the other generations are out of the way, I do think a lot of Gen Z, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think a lot of Gen Zers are moving, especially white men, especially Gen Z white men, are fed up with being told all their life, you're racist for this, you're racist for that. You're actually, your whole existence is just wrong because you exist and you're white, you're straight, you're a male.
Yeah.
And so there is currently going, from what I can tell, in that direction of more conservatism, far right sort of leaning, and just biblical Christianity.
Back to the foundational
Christianity being broad.
I would say, well, that's what I was saying, is that I think that socially it's a different thing, and you could say that it's bringing people back to the foundations of what this closer back to what the founding of this country was and what it looked like and what the principles that was based upon. And I think that is different. I mean, you basically, it sounds like you kind of have the same idea as me on that.
Yeah. Well, I think what you said is right of okay, well, we don't know the intentions of the hearts of everybody.
Yeah.
It's like we hope for this, in a sense of we don't know the workings of the Holy Spirit. We don't know how, but it's like we hear the gospel proclaimed, and we hope that, we pray that there is true repentance from these people, all this stuff like that. It's like, but in the moment, saying, oh, this is a revival and stuff like that, in the sense of like what you just put it, Sam, is like, yeah, I would agree. I would say, yeah, there's a turning point, pun intended. And that was the whole basis of turning point was going after the young generation to, you heard it over and over again in the speeches of Charlie Kirk encouraging, hey, most important thing in your life is God, and then next family.
Yeah.
And then, and then your country. And he's like, so, go to church, get married, have kids, get involved. Pretty much was like a lot of, and it's like, I think you're seeing people realize that, of saying, okay, well, there is more to life than just, making TikTok videos and all this stuff. It's all these years of all this stuff going on, and they're kind of fed up with it, and they're going, okay, well, where's purpose at? And I think this is helping guide people in a way, if that makes sense.
I said this last episode, and it's something that I still do fear is, obviously I was around for 9/11, and look, you saw people flood the churches after 9/11. You saw people, even the left and right, joining hands and unity and all this stuff. And it didn't take 8 years, and look at where we were at. We were sympathizing with Islam. Mm-hmm. At least the left was.
Yeah.
They were sympathizing with Islam, and all of a sudden, it was right to hate our country. And then so on and so on. The rise of atheism, the rise of just this moral relativism, it creeped in, and we were far worse off. That didn't stick. 9/11 did not change this country towards God. Not even a little bit, in a sense, it lasting anyway.
Yeah.
Not that I can tell. I know that people, I'm sure, were saved and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. This seems to be a little bit different. It does seem to be different because it is a different circumstance. And you see somebody that was martyred not for just being an American, but for his faith. And I think it is right to say that, because the things that he was espousing, they hated him because of what he stood for, and that was biblical truths. And
it's common sense.
It was a lot of common sense.
Insane. It's just insane, man.
It was common sense, but I mean, he was very bold about his faith, and people.
You said that.
Well, our faith is common sense too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's for the common man. Yeah, I think we said this last time. I don't remember, but it's the same as John the Baptist. We brought that up. Mike Winger actually had a video on that where he said, John the Baptist was martyred for not the fact of just espousing his faith, but what the fruit of his faith of telling the truth, of saying, hey, you're living a sinful life, and
that's why his head was chopped off and requested. Because he was calling out sin. Anyway, let's I don't know what we're on in time, but let's go ahead and move on to our segment.
About an hour and
do we have time to look at the new trailer that dropped?
I say we
skip it.
Nah.
Skip it.
No worries. I say we skip it.
Yeah.
For some reason,
it's copyright anyway.
It always is going to flag us. I don't know what the deal is on that.
Copyright. So
all right. So what we're doing is our segment today, and it's been a while since we've been able to do a segment, so I'm happy about it. It's going to be finish the story. The news stories of Guess What Happens. Okay, so each one of us have pulled our own stories, and we are going to read the story, and then all of us have got to guess what fill in the blank is. Okay, and the person that's reading the story gets to decide on what the fill in the blank is. So, anyway, I don't know who wants to lead this off, but
I want to go last.
You want to go last?
I don't have.
You want to go first?
I don't have one.
Yeah, yet. I can go first. I got two.
Well, you don't necessarily have to have one, Sam. It's okay. We'll forgive you.
All right.
We just learned about forgiveness. We will forgive you.
Yeah, we'll forgive you.
Thank you. Yeah. I didn't ask, though.
I'm still going to ask for justice, though. I'm still going to ask for justice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So does that mean
the justice is I mute his mic?
All right. I got one. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Go for it.
The Australian woman who killed her in-laws with toxic blank gets life in prison.
Hold on. Say that again.
I think we've done this one before.
I don't remember this one.
I'm going to guess it perfectly right.
Toxic waste.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'll say it again.
Yeah.
The Australian woman who killed her in-laws with toxic blank gets life in prison.
We have done this one before.
We have done this one before.
Kind of.
No, I think we've done this one before.
Toxic. I don't remember what it was though.
Take a guess. I'll go last because I think I know what it is.
It was man, I don't know. Toxic. She's from Australia.
Hmm?
You know, there's ostriches there. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
No.
I just love that you casually keep throwing that in. You know, there's ostriches in Australia because it sounds similar.
Yeah. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, go back a few episodes.
Go to our animal kingdom battle.
Anyway, I'm gonna say that she tried to poison them with snake poison because it's Australia, man.
Yeah, it's mushrooms.
Yeah, it's mushrooms. Now here's the deal. Yes, we have covered that story before, but she hadn't been sentenced.
Okay, I still remember. It was a wedding party. Or
it
something.
was the fault. So the reason I picked that one is because I thought it'd be interesting to see if any of y'all remembered what it was.
Okay.
And she wasn't trying to kill them. I don't think.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know that mushrooms were there.
Well, it was initially it was she claimed it was an accident, but then they were accusing her of saying it was on purpose. That she poisoned all
Australia looks like a place that would have ostriches, but not fungi.
Yeah.
I know.
Dude, that is weird.
That's so funny.
All right, I got a second one here.
Go for the second.
A zoo in Denmark asked patrons to donate their blank, not as attractions, but blank.
Not as attractions?
Yep. But blank. And the second blank is 2 words.
What was the beginning of the story? I'm sorry, man.
Just say it again, because I need it.
A zoo in Denmark asked patrons to donate their blank, not as attractions, but blank. And the second blank is 2 words.
But blank blank. Not as blank, but as blank blank.
All right, this is going to be gross. I'm going to say... oh, man, no. That's...
I can read it one more time.
I got my guess. If
yeah,
the first blank, I think, is hamsters. And then the next one is...
that's a good guess.
Food for...
The snakes.
Snakes, yeah, or something like that.
Okay.
Not as
Or
attractions,
mice. Could be mice.
but as... Wait, how'd it go?
As food.
Donate their blank, not as attractions, but as blank blank.
But as snake food. It's
Snake
pretty good.
food.
Man, that was really good.
That is.
You can copy it. It's not. There's no rules to this game.
I don't know if
I don't
I
want to
could.
do
You
the
could
same
change the
thing.
animal.
Man.
Ooh, I'm gonna say roaches.
Who just keeps roaches on hand?
I don't know who keeps mice on hand.
Right.
So
You're talking about when you smoke most of a blunt, but you got the...
Donate to the stoners at the zoo. They're desperate.
I was gonna say to feed like the spiders, you know, the big tarantulas.
Oh,
and
they do
stuff.
keep those.
Yeah.
Yeah, at zoos.
But you know, I'm gonna go with that, although I know it's wrong. Although I do think the idea of a tarantula getting high is pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, y'all want to know what it is?
Also,
Put that in the
found in Australia.
I'll go with Matt. That was pretty good.
For sure, Matt's gonna be the closest.
A zoo in Denmark asked patrons to donate their pets, not as attractions, but for food.
Yeah.
Just their pet.
Yeah, just
I mean,
their
he
pets.
had it.
So
He was just more
cockroaches, if
specific.
people have those hissing cockroaches.
That's why. What's funny is I went with.
It says surplus. It would take certain surplus pets, such as chickens, rabbits, and guinea pigs,
I was close.
to be gently euthanized and fed to its captive. How do you be gently euthanized?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go. So I got 3.
Okay.
No, 2. I'm just gonna do 2.
All right.
One of them is not really funny, but it would be hard to guess. But it's not funny.
What if it's like really like
It's just really
somber?
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
I
dark.
mean, your pet's being donated. Is
Nope, you guys are wrong. It's actually this.
I feel like I actually passed on a lot that were that way. Where I was like, oh, that would be easy to like just take that part. And I was like, oh, that's kind of depressing though.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right. Justin Trudeau's oldest son set to launch blank career in February.
Rap.
Oof, that's a good answer.
Rap. I'm gonna go with rap.
What's y'all's guesses?
Maple syrup making.
That's a pretty good trend.
Yep. You just went with the most Canadian thing.
I did.
His
well, his son would be like more like Cuban cigar rolling, maybe. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna guess acting career.
This could be beer making.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give it to Jonathan. It was Justin Trudeau's oldest son to launch R&B career in February.
Wow.
But rap,
Close.
I think
That was close.
I think it was rap and R&B because when I looked it up, some of the articles said rap.
What does R&B stand for, by the way?
Is
it like rap and bop?
it might be
Rhythm and blues.
Rhythm and
Is
blues.
it rhythm and blues?
I think it is.
I think it is
Does
rhythm.
it?
Yeah, I think it's rhythm and blues. But
That
all
ain't
right, my next
Doesn't
one
sound nothing like blues.
is
It doesn't
It's got some
anymore.
rhythm though.
Well, R&B when it first came out did sound like that.
Well, they need to change the name now. Then
I agree.
all right. My next one is Las Vegas ice cream truck mistaken for blank vehicle. And hold on, let me read the quote by the ice cream man. He said, "I'm an ice cream man. That's it." That was his quote.
Thank you. That really helps.
Headline one more time.
Yeah, he said.
I'm gonna say medical.
Las Vegas ice cream truck mistaken for blank vehicle, and his response to it was, "I'm an ice cream man. That's it."
Medical vehicle, I guess.
Emergency vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, well, dang, that's what I meant. Why did I say it? That's what I meant.
I pictured in my mind like many different vehicles.
It's either that or suspect.
I'll go with what I said. I said it.
I was gonna say like that an ambulance, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah, I like that none of y'all said the word ambulance besides Jonathan. He said emergency vehicle.
Emergency vehicle, medical vehicle,
I-
ambulance vehicle. I mean, an ambulance is a vehicle.
I was thinking ambulance right off the bat.
Yeah.
Just because.
Why did I say
All right.
medical though?
This one's good. I thought y'all might actually get this one. It's ice.
Ooh.
People thought his truck was type this headline in if you
Were
can. See if
people
we can pull
like
it up.
assaulting him or something?
Yeah, so people thought it was an ice truck. It's because he's
That
like,
just shows you how stupid
so
they
people
are.
thought it
The
was
left
an
are.
immigration vehicle. But he's like, no, I just make ice cream, man.
I just got ice cream, man.
Let's see if you just type in that headline, I think it comes up. So,
Yeah, that is funny.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it. Okay, let's.
An ice cream truck in Las Vegas was
Click on the picture.
mistaken for an immigration.
Why did I imagine it in Las Vegas? That's crazy.
He does
Ice
kind of
cream
look.
patrol.
It does look like it's hilarious because he painted it kind of like a cop.
Yeah.
Deal, and then he also put the emblem kind of looking like a police.
It might be ice.
He,
That is
he
so-
definitely didn't think about that, I feel like.
But he also
Unit
has a
702.
he has
Hey.
a sign on the side that says "Children Slow."
Hey, here's the best part. Is it says it led to a rumor on social media that ICE was using disguised ice cream trucks for community roundups.
Disguise? It's not really disguised, is it? Like, that's so stupid.
Hey,
Man.
at least you get ice cream on your ride back to Mexico.
That is
True.
fantastic.
I heard it's hot down there.
I mean, if you want to self-deport, that's the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. Ice cream, man. Huh?
All right, I've got two of them. This is not like any kind of recent. This is more of just strange stories from the past. Okay, so I'm going to read a story of the Casket Girls of New Orleans. In the 1700s, a group of young French women arrived in New Orleans with oddly shaped chests or caskets, as they were called, earning them the nickname the Casket Girls.
Now, when you say chest
Or caskets.
It was,
I was
you know,
confused
as
for a
in
second.
like,
I was like, is casket
I should've
another
just
term
said
for
caskets.
breasts?
I'm sorry.
I genuinely, it tripped me off for
That's
like a half
funny.
a second.
I was like, is that like a New Orleans term for
I guess
like a
because-
slang term for breast or something?
Yeah.
Because I can see that caskets is right. Yeah, oddly shaped chests or caskets. Okay, so they
Me and Matt looked at each other and I was like,
we all three of us were like,
Okay. So they're called the Casket Girls. This 1700s. They were sent by the French government as prospective brides for the settlers. part of an effort to civilize the colony. But people noticed something strange about these girls and their luggage. Rumors spread that the caskets didn't hold clothes or trinkets, but rather vampires.
That's pretty cool. Very New Orleans.
Yeah. The story goes that these girls brought more than their innocence to New Orleans. They brought something dark and dangerous. What did they finally... They locked it away in a convent. What did they finally find in them when they opened them?
The caskets?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm going to say money.
I'm going to say voodoo dolls.
That's a good guess. Voodoo dolls.
That's a good guess.
Oh, what did...
Vampires.
They were French, right?
Baguettes.
Yeah.
Oh, they
I was
were
gonna say
French.
croissants.
Okay. Nah, that was a stupid thing.
Yeah,
to
actually,
say
I'm
there.
changing my answer. I'm going to say baguettes.
They
What
locked
kind
it away, though. They
What kind
probably
of dark
ate
things
those.
are the French up to? Oh, deodorant and toothpaste. Because that's scary to French people.
razors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with. It's something really simple. Like this isn't as fun, but I'm gonna say like books or something. I'm gonna say magic books, like voodoo related books.
Okay. All right. The caskets were supposedly kept under lock and key at a convent, where legend has it that the nuns discovered it, and then they opened them one night, and there was nothing inside. And these caskets. So it seems, this is the rumor, that vampires, it seemed, have made their way into the heart of the city.
Oh, dude.
So it actually was vampires. So this is one of those. Forget everything we said earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes conspiracy theories are true.
Yeah, there you go.
And our evidence is that there's
Vampires
nothing.
with
There's
oddly
nothing.
shaped
There's nothing. That's our evidence.
Yeah, that is literally how people are now. Isn't it crazy?
There's literally nothing, guys.
Yeah.
So it's true.
Yeah. So what we've learned from this is history repeats itself.
Yeah, very much so.
And they just go, they're empty, so that means they let the vampires out. And then they probably started killing people, going, I think he's the vampire.
Okay, so
They were Jewish, by the way.
I have
Vampires.
All right, I have another story. I don't know why I went with just twisted, creepy stories.
No, it's fun.
but,
I like those.
It's the Cajun, and you can't
I guess,
escape it.
man. Okay, so this is in August of 2016, and mine are longer. It's not just simple.
No, I like it.
In North London, 26-year-old Kennedy Ife began acting strange and aggressive following a pain in his throat. He reportedly bit his father, threatened to cut off something, and complained of a python or a snake inside of him before his family restrained him to a bed with cable ties and excessive force. As the BBC reported, the family then set about attempting to cure Kennedy through restraint and prayer over the next 3 days, the court was told. His brother, Colin Ife, told people, it's clear that thing was in him. What we believe was a demon because it was not natural. It was clearly trying to kill him, he said. We had to restrain him for himself. It was clear if we didn't restrain him, he could have tried to harm people in our family. Okay, so he was bound to the bed for 3 days. What happened at the end of this? After the 3 days? What happened after the 3 days? Were they successful, or what happened?
Successful in
exorcising the demon, quote unquote.
What was their religion?
I don't know that.
Were they reformed? Because that's the only way it would have actually worked. No, man, that's a pretty good story.
Had a pain in his throat. So
In his throat. I'm gonna say at the end of it, he died, and he was actually just choking on something.
I was going in a similar direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
That's kind of darker, maybe.
I mean, the whole story's kind of dark. They chained this kid to a bed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he had a bad case of strep.
Yeah. Just was running a fever, maybe.
Yeah, went a little.
Yeah.
How old is this person? when this happened?
2016.
No, but how old was the person?
I don't know.
Oh, the stories from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I'm a lean toward what Sam said.
It feels
I'm gonna say it wasn't demonic at all. They're just crazy Cajuns. Like
this is in London, by the way.
Oh, wait.
But
London. I was thinking New Orleans.
Like something that would happen in Louisiana.
Oh, London. They're also crazy there too. British people ain't know what's going on.
Beans on toast, dude?
Yeah, beans on toast. Yeah, come on. I'm gonna say
wrong.
it's just he had something lodged in his throat, and they finally got it out. I'm say after 3 days.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say he died after 3 days.
So that caused him to bite his father and start acting aggressive.
I don't know. I just
dude, if you're desperate, like you're like, dude, I don't have a demon, freaking help me! I'm choking. I'm about to bite you, dude.
Okay, so here it is. Kennedy Ife had been bound to his bed for 3 days without medical attention when his brother called emergency service explaining that Kennedy Ife was complaining of dehydration. Apparently, they didn't give him water. He appeared to have developed breathing issues and was pronounced dead at 10:17 a.m. While police were at the house, Colin Life allegedly carried out an attempted resurrection by chanting and praying for Mr. Ife. All seven of Kennedy's Ife's family members were accused of manslaughter, false imprisonment, and causing or allowing the death of a vulnerable adult. A post-mortem examination revealed over 60 wounds, including a possible bite on Kennedy Ife's body, and his father, Kennedy Ife, along with 4 of his brothers, sustained injuries as well.
Dang.
Wait, so how did he die though?
They said from dehydration. It says
no, but like what was he? What was
the throat pain?
What was that all about?
Don't know.
Don't know. I'm just saying, like I don't know, dude. It's crazy because it's like everybody ended up having injuries, like even the family members. So obviously, probably the guy did bite his family, but it also sounds like maybe something bit him.
But then the accusation was that the family
New Orleans
just
Jewish
abused
French
him.
vampires.
Yeah, the verdict was that the family just like abused him though, and that's how he died.
Yeah, I mean that's what they were saying is manslaughter, false imprisonment. It says Kenneth Ife told jurors he ordered his sons to take shifts and use overwhelming force, but denied that an association with cults, occults, and secret societies played any part in the death.
That's what they always say.
I like how there's a thunderstorm going on outside while we're talking about this.
Dude, I have on these noise canceling headphones, and I have not heard any of the thunder, but a while ago
when I walked in, did you see the lightning?
No, he's felt it though.
But dude, it shook, and I was like, "What's going on, man?" I was like, "Dude, did y'all not see me look earlier?"
Yeah.
Like I was like, "What is going on?"
Dude, I went outside to take a leak. I've never been more terrified in my life.
Dude, I went to go get some of my boots because I knew this was going to happen before it started raining. And then I looked to my left, dude. Lightning struck, and it was so close I could see the little fizzles once it goes away, you know?
Oh,
it looks like sparks. And I was like, I gotta go. And I ran back. Anyway, I got the last one. I just got one.
Okay.
And it's along the lines of how Trent and Matt did theirs. So it's just a headline. It's so toothpaste made with blank naturally repairs tooth enamel, scientists discover. Toothpaste made with blank naturally repairs tooth enamel, scientists discover.
There is an ingredient out there called mastic that's only found on a certain island. I'm going to go with that. And it repairs tooth enamel.
I'm going to say...
First I'm hearing of it, Trent.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that.
All right, Trent
I'm going to
says
say
mastic.
squid ink.
Squid ink. Your teeth are black.
Pulled that out of nothing.
Your teeth are black for so long, too.
No,
I'm going to say it's from the land of
charcoal.
Australia, and it's something from an ostrich.
let me help Matt real quick. I guess all of y'all. It's only one blank. It's not. If it like you said, squid ink. It's just one blank. So
it's not 2 words.
It's not 2 words. It's one
Okay.
word.
Sticking with mastic.
All right.
I'm going to say that it is chalk.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want to redo? Since you did 2 words?
I'm gonna say it's we're going back in time here, and I'm gonna say it's like some form of clay. It's probably just clay of some sort.
I don't know why I came up with chalk, but I was like, chalk's white.
Say, people you probably used to brush their teeth with
chalk,
some kind of mud or something.
You don't have any enamel left. Okay, so toothpaste made with hair naturally repairs tooth enamel. Scientists.
What if you just brush your teeth with hair?
Yeah. What about the women
you
that
can floss with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross, dude.
It is gross. The two things I don't want to mix is hair in my mouth.
Yeah, I know. I'm not all right with that.
Nope.
I think I'll just.
I mean, you brush your teeth with hair, kind of. I mean, toothbrush used to be horse hair, but
yeah, that's what. So, in a sense, I was a little bit right of saying we're going backwards, and they're going, maybe.
No, you weren't.
Maybe what they used to.
What? Hold on. Here's the question,
bro. You are close.
Whoever made toothpaste with hair in it so that they did this study?
I think it more so. I'm thinking in lines of it's probably like keratin. Like you find keratin in hair, it strengthens your fingernails, strengthens your hair follicles. Probably same.
Okay.
So
I don't think it's actually like
you hear that, people. You want healthy
hair in your toothpaste.
You want healthiness. You want healthy teeth. Then eat hair.
Yeah,
you heard it here, folks.
Never complain again about hair in your food. It's actually good for you.
Yeah, yeah. You ought to actually give an extra tip every time you find that little curly hair in your food. Anyway, yeah. All right. Well, yep. That's all we've got. Join us next time, and we'll see y'all later.